All right, here we go. M80 up against Reason in the map. Anubis. Let's see who will come out with the advantage. It is a map that Reason Gaming have played, in fact, more than M80 over the last 2 months, twice versus once. It's not exactly that much, but M80, both M80 and Reason have not won yet here.
No wins, but somebody will end that drought here and
Yes.
now. Reck's in a good spot to start things off well for his squad. That's a nice headshot onto Walker, who is playing. It will not be the sub. I guess he got the power all sorted out and powered on. Fall back from Reason's a good idea, especially after having your first player get one tapped out of the server by Reck. And there, of course, there's somebody certainly lurking around, not just one. Malb's already in the fast flank, though. Has to be careful not to get caught. They are watching for this Beaky in particular on the long angle, and Malb smells it out. He's going to back away. M80 have Reason boxed in, but will they expect the E-box pop? Oh, they're already rotating for it. Manx right next to it. WolfY on the angle. Reason are walking into another crossfire.
Oh boy, JDubs will be the first point of contact here into this B site. WolfY's watching for it. If they can overwhelm him, it could be decent, as you have in the cubby right now. Manx goes down, and they get WolfY simultaneously. That is a very nice execute by Reason on the pistol round. They will get the bomb planted. Still have 3 members to worry about here on the M80 side, and Swisher with the dualies could pose a problem as he's coming in here from Palace. Malbs and B main. He gets domed immediately and then taken down by Beaky. It is all Reason at this point after that first frag. Reck, the last one standing. He's tapping away, hoping to do something, anything, maybe get some kill reward for one of these bodies. But as it stands, it looks like, well, his luck has run out and he's going to back off, try and save the body armor. Nice first round from Reason.
Very good first round from Reason. Well executed onto the site. They slow it down. They take it quiet. They force M80 to start doubting themselves. They caught the M80 players on B, just kind of looking back and forth between 2 different angles. And that's exactly what allowed them to split the gap, slip on in, and destroy them. The aim of the holds is also fantastic. JDubs with that crispy little P250 tap. And Reason, a well-deserved first round and a good start here. They will have to contend with a force up from M80, though. 3 Deagles, the 5.7, the MP9 in Reck's hands because of the saved armor. A little extra firepower, and JDubs lacks the helmet. He is vulnerable to that SMG. 4 rifles, though, for the T side. And probably a much slower start. Yeah, they're already into a default shape. And I think Reason are going to hope they can goad M80 into these pushes.
Yeah, JDubs is a player that was really strong on his time when he played with Mythic. And then he jumped through many different teams, right? He played on Detonate, One Tap, and GGPR, along with a few advanced squads. So he looked so promising on that Mythic squad, lots of clutch potential. He hasn't really realized it since that point. And I mean, he's 23. I would say that's still young, so he's still got time to potentially find his rhythm and get going here at the high level, at a higher level of playing Counter-Strike. But hopefully, we're going to see it soon. Good to see him back in ECL, of course. Swisher pushes out and gets deleted by Walker, who's also going to get dinged through the wall, I believe it was, from the MP9 of Reck, who's coming up close and personal. There's one, no second. Dangerous takes him down, makes it a 4v3, so they retain that man advantage.
JDubs on the side 2 coming up into heaven. WolfY will not fall to him, though it's Beaky instead. No real option for WolfY to get anything out of that situation unless he got one and was done. Manx and Malbs most likely just going to save what they have and try again in the next round. No reason to throw it away. You can always try for a couple deags in the next one, but only 1 kill each round right now for M80. It's not ideal for this squad with a very strong amount of fraggers. The extra Galil pickup. Ooh, okay. Parting gift from Malbs there, too. Crispy little 1 deag from the Guatemalan Phenom, and that's going to be a very nice addition. Little extra trimming of Reason. The Galil and the MP9 now with the 2 deags saved. That's a much more beefy buy-up for M80 in the next round without even having to invest any money, except for maybe a piece of body armor on WolfY and Reck.
Yeah,
This one might have legs.
yeah, I would say they're probably going to keep above the 2K mark, but I do agree. At least they can invest a little bit, get a better buy up than it would be just having default pistols. And you're seeing exactly that. The Deagle's getting juggled around. And at the end of all of this, it looks like, yeah, it's just going to be the two Deagles, the MP9, the Galil, and a USP for WolfY, who wants to get that AWP up and running. So, yeah, I mean, still opportunities, possibilities for them to pull something off. But Reason will have the significant edge going into this round. JDubs up here, and then he flicks down to get both Malbs and Mangs. Nicely done from JDubs, who's off to a pretty strong start.
That first shot was clean. The spray control on the second, nice, easy. Swisher getting burned and flushed out by Grape. Walker charging up, chunking Reck down significantly. He's down to about a third of his starting HP, and down goes WolfY as well. JDubs holding the canal. That's his Thermopylae, and he's not going to be toppled by the first wave of Persians. Reck, last man standing on the site. Smoke out from Walker, but Reck surely doesn't get more than just one Walker and then caught and reload. Reck actually doing a little more chip damage. Only 9 rounds of the mag, and smoke spam will find him. 3-0 start for Reason, but the money is now solid for M80. This is where the game truly begins here. We are still on MR15, so it's not going to be too big of a deal to go down 3-0.
Yeah,
the op for WolfY.
I have to say, I don't know how I feel about MR12. I would say just don't really want it, to be honest, because I think MR15 has so many amazing moments, but I tend to be averse to change, so we'll see how it goes. The one thing is, if it is MR12, there's no way that this economy is sustainable. You can't have 2 rounds where a team basically has nothing that they can buy. Things will have to change significantly. I think Valve knows that, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting adjustment, assuming it even happens. Might just stick to MR15. Anyway, back to the action here. Reason converted off of their pistol round victory. They got both of the following rounds, and now M80 will have their first rifle buy-up. 3 M4s, an A1S, and an op. A very heavy lean to the A4 on M80, which isn't the case for all of the rosters at the Challenger League level, which kind of surprised me, to be honest. I would expect the A1S to be more situational now. Well, until we get to CSGO and you can CSGO, CS2, and then you can buy them both, right?
Yeah, I mean, I love the A1S more than I like the A4 personally, but that's also just because it's easier to shred if you're not in multi-kill situations. But M80 winning their first 2 fights, Manx with that A1S, and then WolfY with the op easy shot. Grape's down to 1 HP too. He's just crawling around Canal, picks up the fallen op of Walker, but he's still not in a great spot. Only 41, actually there's 43 points of damage taken if you count the 2 on WolfY. But overall, M80 in a great spot, holding down their sights, keeping an eye on mid. No aggression needed after those first 2 picks, and they know it. It might just be a save from Reason, and I think this might be a reason why Valve is trying to lean towards MR12, is to limit the amount of saves we've had in Counter-Strike as of late. But I happen to agree with you, John. I feel like MR15 just leads to so much more. I mean, if you want to harken back to Dallas, that ancient map between FaZe and Nets,
it's just fantastic, right? I mean, look, it's also a timing thing, perhaps, right? Because the saves add more time to the match. Playing MR15 also just generally adds more time by its nature than MR12 will. So I understand. But either way, we'll see how it goes. My first reaction was, I don't want this, but we'll see if Valve can change our mind, I guess. And for the A1S versus A4, interesting that you prefer the A1S, actually, because I used to like it more, but the problem is you get 10 more rounds, 10 more bullets, right, to fire from that A4, and like you kind of alluded to, it's better in clutch situations. I just think better overall. You got the mid-range, maybe a slightly better long-range engagement with the A1S. I don't know. I guess it's up for debate, but at the very least, you'll be able to afford them both, like I mentioned, once we move over to CS2, because you can just have them both in your loadout.
Yeah. I think my thing is, too, I'm never in a position where I end up using the full 20 anyways, usually.
Yeah.
Because if I'm on a side hold, I'm getting 1-2 people, and I'm probably not surviving much longer.
So it's more about you can't get more than 2 kills then, Austin.
I play a lot of solo anchors.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. I'm just bugging.
Oh, I know.
Bit of a slow start to this round. 109 on the clock. Reason, slowly but surely, are now making their way across bridge. Walker, he's got the big green. Good to see him opping again at the ECL level. Interestingly enough, though, Reason didn't make it to ECL through relegation. The reason that they're here is because of, I think it was a few teams that are no longer going to be competing or left NA. MIBR and Pain left NA to go play in South America, of course, and Strife, I think, just disbanded. So they're no longer
Stripe just died.
Yeah. So that's why Reason are here.
Yeah, and they're a team that, if you look at the players here, does belong in ECL.
Yes.
So I'm not upset to see them here, and I'm not upset to see a full NA ECL for the first time since I started. Oh, the jump throws Reck off. He does so much damage, but he can't get the kill. The op from WolfY needs to shine. He's up close and personal. He gets the call out on the next two, and he's able to back away. The bomb on the floor. WolfY holding down the fort. He's covered, and he no-scopes Walker. No. The ace is connected. WolfY mops them all up, and Reck falling down early doesn't affect him at all. WolfY shotgun opping. Back in North America. I believe they're based in Texas now. Give the man a cowboy hat because he's a gunslinger.
Oh my goodness. Wow, what a play from WolfY. I didn't think he was going to get that no scope, but afterwards you kind of felt like the ace was coming with the way he was firing off on all cylinders. And of course the Colat doesn't hurt, and that's a little problem with the spacing for Reason, but I think it's just more the situation, right? They're trying to push up. They get caught off in a really awkward spot, and a great shot hit from WolfY. And now 2 rounds in a row, economy broken for Reason. Malbs is going aggressive, maybe suspecting that, and he wants to get in on a flank. In the meantime, Walker eats a nade right outside of B main, so he's going to go down a little bit. WolfY peering over the top of the smoke, expecting something. Does he see it? He does now. WolfY finds Walker. That makes it a 5v4.
Last 6 kills have come from WolfY, and now M80 are starting to get a little more aggressive out towards Canals. They have to be careful, though, against the Pistols. Reason they're hoping they can isolate some 1vx's and put M80 in the 1 situation. Smoke out. Swisher sprays away. Doesn't know he dropped the bomb, but it's a nice kill nonetheless. And Reason abandoning the objective. No, they're going to go back for it late. But I don't think there's much opportunity here for Reason, especially after that second kill. A bomb plant would even be a very, very amazing outcome for the T side.
Certainly would be, and I don't really see it in the cards. You have Beaky throwing the flashbang to try and open up a little bit of space, and it might. The problem was Malbs wasn't exposed to it, so he's probably going to use the flashbang thrown by his teammates. Get 1-2, goes down, but the third is mopped up by Reck quite handily. So there you go. M80 don't have too much of a problem with the anti-eco, losing 1 player, and Reason, well, they got 3 in a row to start it off. And now they surrendered 3 in a row to M80, and as a result, they want to call a timeout to talk things over because an important round is going to come through here.
Important more so for Reason, as M80 are nowhere near being reset right now. 2 players at the 7K mark, another 2 hovering around between the 4.5 and 5.5K. Swisher, the only guy who's relatively broke, and he's at 2.5. So the money is looking good for M80. Reason are on the brink of another reset if they lose this next round. And once the guns have come out, they haven't even gotten a bomb down. They haven't even gotten a sniff of a bomb sight. And M80 are just holding the lines. They're just having Reason walk into them, and there needs to be some sort of execute coming through from the Reason side, and we haven't been able to see that yet. The rotation on the Pistols, where there was no utility for either side, was good, but now that the guns are here, M80 playing with more and more confidence, sucking up all the free space.
Kind of what was expected, right? Given the firepower that the squad had, like you mentioned in the pregame. Once those rifles come out, it's a lot tougher. Reason. Malbs just charges out into their face and gets 2. Reck finds one of the JDubs, and they take complete control of the outside of A in water here. Oh my goodness, Reason. This is their buy-up. I mean, M80 made it look like you were on an eco still.
Oh yeah, the flash from Swisher blinds all 3. Malbs peeks out. Reck gets the last. That's just a really good bit of aggression pushing in towards Canals, where they have a good inkling Reason like to set up on their defaults. They've gotten some information there before from the spams from E-Box, and now they go for a bit of aggression. M80 already starting to snowball that confidence into rounds. Dane and Grape with nothing they can really do. They do possess the bomb, but Manx is holding the cross. Grape seems aware, but can he get by? He does, but he doesn't do any damage on it. Still a 5v2 in the favor of the CT side. And time is ticking, both in the round timer and also just on the chances Reason have to even get a bomb plant out of this one.
Yeah. You have to imagine that a save might be called here. Couple of flashes. Grape's waiting, holding the flank. Grape, who was once upon a time a primary opper for a very brief moment, but now he's taking care of secondary op duties behind Walker, so he's no stranger to using it. But now, Reason, well, they've decided to save. Dane spots out the barrel of Malt's gun, knows something's coming, turns away from the flash, gets the headshot. Now Reck might think twice here. The money's okay, so they can try for this, but it's not good to lose so many guns on team side, even when doing this well. But I guess it doesn't matter. Manx and Reck re-peek anyway. They get the last two and say, we don't care about the money. We just want to make life difficult for Reason.
Well, it gets even more difficult. Both those kills coming after the time expired.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that is painful. That's going to sting for Reason, and there's definitely no way they're getting a buy. They honestly might just force into here because they're almost in a double eco situation, but they're just going to have Grape on nothing coming into the next round, or they just might half it too. It should be at max loss of 34, but still, it's not the best. Nades raining into Canal. That's a chunky second. And Reason already sweating before they even get a step towards a site proper. Smoke down for Manx. Molly's out for Malbs. Guns trained and ready. They've got the right idea. And a fade away from Reason, trying to goad M80 into a little over aggression. It's not going to work right now. M80 know they don't need to push right now.
Yeah, good patience from M80 and good discipline as well. Reason, all 5 players are going in like a train here into the B site. Is Reck going to be the one to stop it in the tracks? It looks like it. There's one for the second. Reck dropped his second, and now a third for himself. So 4K is on potentially. Beaky will go down to Swisher. So no 4K for Reck, but he's got 3, and that was a solid site hold.
Yeah, bomb plant plus the kill. That's a very solid result for Reason overall, especially considering how much nade damage they took in Canals in the first 20 seconds or so. So a very good start here for Reason to build up something into this round. They get Grape on a full buy, which is incredibly important. The op back for Walker, but he needs to do a little bit more, sitting at 1 and 7. T-set opping, yes, significantly more difficult, and M80 are not making it easier by not giving him opportunities for easy picks. But WolfY is holding the line. Swisher hasn't really had to do anything besides be a supportive player, and down goes Walker on the peak. WolfY even choosing to aggress behind the flames. M80's scarier and scarier by the minute.
Yeah. Their engines are revving now. And they're ready to go. Dangerous. Waiting right outside of B main. M80. They're hitting their shots. You mentioned Swisher more in a supporting role. That's another thing that's great about having so much firepower. Sometimes just be like, okay, well, you take care of the frags. I'll take a step back for a moment, and Grape actually gets the headshot onto Malb, so that means the members will look at the flank. It comes in, but it gets spotted. Great awareness from JDubs, realizing that there was a gap in their lines, comes back to close it, and Swisher gone. There's a man advantage for Reason to work with now, and they still have plenty of time on the clock here to go for an execute onto this B site, and it looks like it will be the vacant B site because everyone on M80 deciding to stack towards A. You still have WolfY waiting right around Sniper Nest here outside of CT spawn, but I don't know how much he's going to be able to achieve once this hit comes through.
Still no side entry. Now they waltz on through. Good counter flash. It's a solo hold from WolfY, just trying to delay as much as possible. Maybe pick somebody up through a gap in the smoke. He does have one to exploit, but the bomb will touch the dirt. Extra money. WolfY closing up. Shotguns Grape. And now he's going to look for more. Peeking around, still scoped in. JDubs keeping an eye on a couple different angles himself. Has to be careful. Oh, flank fakes coming through as well. That's smoke. The spam will go. The jump across. Beaky spots him and removes him there too. The gap exploited by Beaky on the hold. Reck coming in behind. JDubs goes down 2v2. In comes the take. The spur is in. Beaky. WolfY runs right into him, swaps the off. Dane capitalizes on the repeat. And now it's just a hold from Reck.
He's got it.
And he's got no idea. Dane hasn't heard it. The shots go sideways. They do not connect.
Oh, no.
And what a way to win the round for M80. Reason, it felt like they should have won it. I wanted to say Reason won the round. And yet Reck just holds his nerve in the smoke. That is so unlucky.
Oh my goodness. And the worst part about it was was it Dane at the end? On
Yep.
Reason? Yeah, for Dane Joris, he was dead on. His crosshair was on, but he was moving too much. Had he stopped moving and stood still and taken that shot, it would have connected and they had the round, but so she goes in Counter-Strike. WolfY looking around here. It's so impressive they got that retake, and he goes down actually over the top of the smoke. Good shot from Walker. 5v4. JDubs working his way through water, trying to get the con. The smoke is thrown, so going through there could be a little ill-advised, especially with Manx so close here. Manx going to try spamming through. Maybe JDubs going to be aware of the fact that he's here now? Yeah, I would think so, being that close to the A1S being fired. Grape's going to grab that bomb over in T-spawn. It looks like the hit will be towards B. Oh, that tick is going to help M80 a lot. They're going to know that there's some presence in water now.
The information has been key to M80's success so far. They're going to continue that as they look to put 7 in a row on the board. Just continue growing that lead, cultivating it into a nice little field. Manx now soloing the site. Does not exactly have a fast rotate either, but Malbs is making his way back towards B. Ooh, no, he's going back. Thinking it might be a fake or a split. Manx has a lot to do. At least get 2 out of this situation. Bring it to level footing. The spray goes through. It doesn't connect. Malbs is here and now. Behind this smoke, waiting to pop on through. Bomb plant in for Reason with all 5 alive. They have to hold this one. Do M80 even go for it? They've got plenty of money. No reason not to. But if they can't get an opening fast, it might just be better to save. Reck coming in through E-Box. There's 2 people on this angle, but Manx doubles the entry, and they've got the right idea. Walker strikes with 1 more, and he'll go for a second. In comes Beaky and JDubs. The mop-up is here for Reason. Get out the brooms and the buckets, because they just swept M80 out of that round.
Wow, that was a really solid post-plant hold. You thought for a moment with Manx getting that 2K that M80 were going to pull another one right out from under Reason, but no, denied by Walker, who hit a couple of nice ones, and the rest of his squad cleaned them up with the AKs. Reason find a 4th and cut the gap down to 2. The thing is, as we mentioned, there was still enough money for M80 to buy up here. Sure, they have to sell for Moss, but it's pretty much full utility and full rifles outside of that with the 3 A1Ss and the AWP in the mix. Walker already out to B main, flashbang thrown. That was for a peek to come through, and well, as soon as the flash is tossed, Reason immediately fall back. And then re-smoked by M80. So, time ticking away on the clock. Reason doesn't get the early presence that they wanted, so they're going to reset a little bit.
Not a lot of util left for M80 here. Molotov on 2, smoke on 2, flash on 2. It's pretty limited here overall. And Malbs is getting harangued outside B. Caught by the Oppa. Walker, who's starting to come online. A win condition there being achieved for Reason. Evening things up a little bit more. Swisher now, bottom of the scoreboard overall, needs to get himself activated. His flash work has been critical to the early success of the M80 side. But there needs to be a little bit more from Mikey. Needs to put a little more on the board now. Beaky splitting in through E-Box. 2 players on site. Swisher and Manx up over top. Caught by the Oppa Walker, who's clicking everything now. Swisher waiting for reinforcements. Going in behind the util. Spots out a burning grape. Gets caught by Beaky for me. And there's 2 more left on the site. Down goes Reck. WolfY saving Shirley. Backing away after sticking around for an exit for a little bit longer. He's got to get out of here. And that's 2 in a row now for Reason, bringing it to a 6-5 scoreline and probably a 6-6 because M80 will not have the funds to reinvest in the following round.
Yeah, and that's another really patient, strong execute coming through from Reason. The patient gameplay paying off. M80 a little too eager, I think, to try and take the fights in those first two engagements, and afterwards, just they can't really get much done in the post plant. Another thing that's happening, and it's 2 rounds in a row now, they're throwing that Molotov, and I'm not sure if it's intentional, but the Molotov is more so blocking out players from coming up connector. Once the bomb is being planted, though, they're throwing that. So I'm not sure if the intention of the Molotov is to go to pillar and it's just going past that twice, or if they actually are trying to isolate players and make it easier to try and re-engage with the players on that site. I'm not 100%, but either way, it hasn't been working.
No, it hasn't. And maybe you're going to call attack pause to figure out what's going wrong. And I think it's a good time for it, too. Yes, they've only lost 2. But clearly what they have been doing previously is no longer working. Could they have saved this timeout for when they have a full buy? Sure. And maybe it would be better to do that, but right now they have the information of how Reason are playing on gun rounds, which this one's an anti-eco. I think it's a good time to talk things over, figure out what they need to fix, and put it into practice in the next round. That's the difficult part, is putting it into practice a round after the timeout has gone through. And a heavy A-lean from Reason. M80 have stacked this. The nade goes in, but it only tags Swisher. The op from WolfY soloing the opposite site. Only 2 upgraded pistols, but it is a firing squad around the door. If Reason aren't quick on the shots, they could end up being a bit bloodied. And Grape might even get caught if he chooses to go down Canals Cross. Utility going in. Do they have the flashes for this take? Will they throw the flashes, more importantly? There it is.
Either way, though, the stack is here, so they're choosing the wrong bomb. So JDubs gonna come out, gets one, sprayed it out immediately, so she gets the AK, can't fire a shot from it. Beaky, wow, with the 3K spray down. Excellent transfer coming through as well, and WolfY is the last one standing with the AWP. He says, I don't want anything more to do with this one, and backs off completely. Wow.
Wow.
That was nice from Beaky.
That was clean from Beaky. JDubs with a good entry, but Beaky just mops it up. Such a good cleanup there from Beaky. And maybe they had the right read. They had the right stack. The gamble paid off. It's just the problem being they just got demolished by one man. Beaky definitely put the wow in his name with that one. That was great spray control in the third and final.
Oh, yeah. No, that was fantastic. So now we're all tied up at 6 assists with teams going back and forth with the rounds. Beaky actually goes down to bomb. Yeah, that's surprising. Didn't get far enough away. So maybe needs to ensure that he goes far enough from the bomb site next time, even though he got the 3K.
Minor detail.
Yeah, minor detail. No big deal. Has to reinvest.
Yeah, he was watching. He clipped it, and he was watching his kills again.
That's exactly it. 13th round of play here. 2 A4s, the FAMAS, the OP, and the A1S for M80 who are back onto the rifles. Reason just carrying over what they had in the previous one, aside from a two buy-ups they needed to make. And Walker is already here next to the boat in water, having a peek in towards those.
Oh. Swisher's now rotated 3 stack towards B from M80, leaving Reck to solo the A site with the fast rotate of Swisher if required. A little bit of damage on the Grape, about half his health actually taken away by that spam from Swisher. But Canals control taken by Reason. It's a bit of a different default from them too. A little more of their bases covered here. Manx playing a dangerous game with the jiggle molly out. In comes one, down goes his. And we have no man's land and towards E-Box. B still seems to be the place to go for the Reason side, though. Manx on the spray, connects on the first, can't recoil it back into the second. A second molly, though, comes through, and time beginning to dwindle. Reason, are they going to brute force their way in? WolfY still here with the op, as is Malbs on the M4. And the stall utility, impeccable from the CT side, keeping Reason to the extremities.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually pretty impressive. on the M80 side now. 28 seconds left. Reason have to get in here. They do have even numbers here at a 4v4, but one mistake and it's all done. Walker thinks about the Molotov, puts it away, goes over the op, shot hit from WolfY. Mobs as well, connects on the JDubs, and time is ticking away. I don't think they'll be able to do this, and they recognize that as Dangerous goes down, but Reck takes down a retreating Walker, prevents him from saving the AWP, and M80 are back on the board with a 7th.
The great 7th there from M80. A good hold on the B site. Great utility into stall. That was a very well played hold. And they elect to not go for the double op too, which is interesting. They had the option to. Reck went for the AK instead, just missed it by a hair. Famas will still be in his hands. Penultimate round of the half here at hand. M80 looking for a 9-6 half. Reason if they can manage to get themselves 7, that would be huge. A spray from Grape takes down Swisher. I believe Swisher was kind of blind there too. That's not a good start for M80. A little unnecessary aggression too coming through in mid. And they're down a man in the first 25 seconds or so. It's a very poor start. And they're going to go aggressive off of the back of the loss. Maybe that's why?
Yeah, when you're going to get 2 frags like that, go aggressive as much as you want. Manx and Mobs, the 2 M's here on the M80 roster, making it a 4v3 just like that after the opening kill went Reason's way. Reck now going to smoke off one angle here towards the A site. JDubs peering in from A main. And Reck, I mean, he's thinking about pushing up. Not sure if that would be the best idea with Grape right there. WolfY's posted up, holding the angle, sees the hands as the util's thrown right against one, right before WolfY drops JDubs, and Beaky is WolfY's 3rd victim on the round. Another 3K for the Opper of M80.
WolfY's just doing it all right now. Up close and personal, he's hitting all of his shots a little more towards the mid-range. We don't really get to see the long-range op duel on this map, but he's been doing really good in the close quarters combat with it. Last round of the half now. Reason with a bit of a scrounged up buy. A deagle for Grape so he gets the utility. Not a lot of utility for anybody else. Walker still has his op, and JDubs, he's swimming with the fishes.
My goodness. WolfY is just on another level at the beginning of this season, like I said before. It's Swisher, okay. He hasn't had the best of games, but he'll take that one through the smoke, just spamming common angles. Gets Beaky taken down to the ground. 5v3. Walker, Dane, and Grape are all grouped up together. They're thinking, well, we're here towards the B site. We don't have much map control. M80's pushed up pretty aggressively on bridge. Maybe we should try doing something here, and that smoke's going to deter them perhaps a little bit. Mobs toss the nade. That lands at Walker's feet in the second one as well. Yeah, the double nade ensures that Walker is a soft target.
He can't be a bullet sponge anymore. He's just a regular sponge. He's almost full. Counter utility coming in, a Molotov to hold off more. Walker's got to move. The flash will allow him to escape, but he's not going to back out fully. WolfY wins the fight. Of course he does. Great flash. I think that was WolfY's himself.
It was his own flash. Yeah,
he set himself off.
Beautiful. Dane and Grape have to do something, and they'll do nothing. Mobs and WolfY drop them to the ground. 9-6 in favor of M80 as we head to a quick break. A very streaky half from both sides there. We had 3 rounds in a row from Reason. Then it felt like we were going back and forth to 3 rounds in a row after that point. Even though M80, I think, had 6 in a row in between all of that chaos and back and forthness. But at the end of the day, M80s walked into the second half with a 9-6 lead going with their T side, which technically is favored here on Anubis ever so slightly. So we'll see if they can convert that to a victory. As Dangerous looking around with the pistol, fires a shot off, and M80's already got this site.
Yeah, they've got the site, they've got the bomb down, they've got the hold initiated, they don't have a kit to deal with, so they just have to hold the line. They're going to go for fights here. Dangerous punishes the first 2, Grapes got the 3rd, and a 4th as well. Reck's the last man standing, and Reason are firing up here on the pistol round again. One holding the bomb, not yet, but they've just put Reck down 6 feet. JDubs with the dual Berettas to mop it up. Yeah, M80 got the site. They lost it just as fast.
Wow. I mean, look, these pistol round recoveries from Reason have been very impressive. In that first one, I think it was M80 who got the killing blow, and then afterwards, that first frag, it was all Reason. Kind of the same thing here, right? M80 get one, or I don't even know if they got one. They just got the bomb site, planted the bomb, and then Reason just came storming in like a bulldozer and plowed through everything that was in their way. Excellent retake. Defusal comes through. Now they have 4 A1Ss and a FAMAS, which is the benefit of running the A1S, right? When you're on a when you win that first round with a defusal, you tend to have a better buy if you're running the A1S, because you obviously $200 cheaper.
Yeah. Extra flashbang, or get yourself a helmet or a kit, something extra. But $200 does make a lot of difference, especially
really
on the CT
does.
side.
It's crazy how much difference it makes.
Yeah, the economy, even if we say MR15, I think there still needs to be some tweaks to it, but...
Yes. I think winning pistol round should mean more for CT side, even with the bomb being planted.
Because as of right now, it equals a basically equivalent on both sides.
Yes.
Because the Galil's just that good.
Yeah, the little bit of a buff they gave it some time ago has had a significant impact on the buy-ups for the T side. Nice shot by BQ out through the smoke, tracks the tracers, makes it a 5v4. Reason trying to work that advantage with the A1S's. Damage favors, yeah, obviously Reason because they got that first frag. JDubs waiting, staring at the smoke, knowing it's going to fade soon and that someone might try peering on forward or coming through. Malbs, that's someone. Sees JDubs, and JDubs has no chance to even fire. Clinical shot from Malbs. Now they'll be able to use the bomb plant again.
Extra bomb plant always good, but a 4v4 situation and a more even chance to hold against guns, with guns. M80 can start a war of attrition here if they can hold the line. Again, no defuse kit for the CT side. It did not bother them last round, but there's more of a chance it does here and now. He flashed in, destroyed by the Tech 9. Malbs has Grape on a plate, or maybe a platter, and WolfY fells Walker in the meantime. Dane backing up, does take down both players pushing in through E, but that was just a punish attempt from M80, trying to eliminate any saved guns for the Reason side. Either way, though, double digits for M80. They respond very well in turn. Great entry. Malbs, the second as well, was solid. Manx and WolfY chiming in on the hold. Reason sent back to nothing. Not quite the Stone Ages. They still do have firearms, but might as well be, considering they're going to have the M4 and nothing else.
Yeah, there's no justifiable reason to buy up here.
Double
eco. It's going
eco.
to be called. Yeah, I suppose they could choose to force up, but
I probably would in this situation, just given the fact that there is literally no money on anybody. Nobody's near 2K except for Dane.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to get 1,900 in the next round, which would make it a... I mean, if you're looking long-term, probably would make sense to keep the money in the bank account, save for a couple of rounds, and then have a much stronger buy-up. Not to mention you have the A1S to kind of fall back on in this round, so there's no reason to... Okay, well, I was trying to justify something that they didn't feel was justifiable. They're going to force up. across the board pretty much, except for Walker, who saves the money for the AWP. 257s, the Deagle, and the A1S. Nice. Want to come out here? He gets the opener onto Dane and on Grape as well. The pistols are all that's left, and well, probably not for much longer. Looks like it's only going to be Beaky. Wow, his position known. Malbs is hungry for frags. He smells blood in the water. Nade thrown forward. Swisher peeking around, and Swisher the one to deal a killing blow.
That'll be some confidence building there from Swisher. Get a couple of kills against the Ecos, nice and clean. He hadn't had the easiest start, so it's good to see him getting a little more involved here on the T side of things. 4 rounds the gulf between the two sides, and a save here from Reason, a full save, mind. That'll be M80's most likely 12th. Unless they walk into a stack from Reason, in which case things get weird. But M80 probably going to default out a little bit more. Try and figure out where Reason are coming from. Reason are going to charge up middle, perhaps. They're all stacked up in mid.
I think, yeah, you might be right. I was going to say they might just wait around the corner, but now they're peeking around, trying to bait out perhaps. M80 is coming here, and now they all charge out into the crosshairs. There we go. It is a firing squad taking down all 5 Reason members. Mulbs almost goes down, but he survives with 1 HP. 12-7 in favor of M80, as you predicted, Austin, and a 5-round lead.
Here comes the buy. Walker has the op. M80 still with Galils. Still with the M4s they salvaged from Reason. The AK on Swisher is their lone Kalashnikov. Full utility. Absolutely boiling money. If M80 win this round, it's almost curtains. Reason will have to go for a save again unless they're able to keep a few guns up. And not to mention the fact that this is Reason's essential chance to try and turn the tide back into their favor before the lead gets too insurmountable. They only have 1 kit. The utility's not fantastic. The nade damage they even had early, it's not great either. Everyone's still relatively strong.
Yeah. This is not going to be an easy round for them. Not really going for too much map control at mid, but they are doing that outside of B. We'll see if Mobs realizes it. He's kind of waiting for it. The op is locked in, but at the wrong angle. Mobs gets the headshot. Knows there's a second player there as well, but that player retreats in the meantime. Dangerous taken down. Beaky by his lonesome on the A site. He needs reinforcements, and he won't get them. Manx, the headshot, his second frag, and Grape and JDubs are just going to have to stay likely on this A site if they even can. Mobs hunting. He finds another scalp. JDubs, last one alive, and he will manage to catch Mobs off guard at the very least, but that's the first kill of the round for Reason.
First kill, bomb down. The hunt is on for JDubs too. B site swarming with T's. A site actually kind of abandoned. There's only Manx there, and he's pushed all the way through main and towards canals. They have an idea where JDubs can be, though. They have him boxed in. Swisher on the flank. Almost spots him. Does he get caught on the timing? Does JDubs get anything more for his trouble here? Swisher making noise. Doesn't stop him. Headshot delivered. The sweet release of death. The reward for JDubs.
Yeah, JDubs, unfortunately for him, holding the wrong angle. It was a nice flick, and the realization, right, that a little bit of noise came his way, but Swisher was just full-on clearing that angle. No chance for JDubs. 13-7 in favor of M80, and since that pistol round to open things up here in this second half, we haven't really seen that much to speak of from the Reason squad. It was such a promising start, too, not only to the second half, but that first half being as close as it was. But M80 on their T side can be exceptionally lethal with entry fraggers such as Reck, who walked into this one with 16 entry frags, and when he gets one, his team wins 87.5% of those rounds. Then you have Swisher with the same amount, 16 frags, and that represents 17.2% of the rounds that have been won by M80. So, I mean, there's just, like I said, so much potent firepower and players that are strong on all roles.
The chances for Reason, I don't know what much they have left. The push runs into Mobs, and actually they do get 1 out of that. Grape doesn't take too much damage there. Maybe Mobs is too used to the A4, couldn't control the A1S, which is not a statement you hear very often. Bomb going to go down on an open B, A site rather, though, as reck continues to push forward and gain more ground. Has to be careful of a smoke push, expects one up towards heaven. And Beaky will get caught around the edge of that smoke. Grape should save. Grape should have no inkling at all of attempting any sort of retake, any sort of fight, any sort of contact with M80 bar something over long distance radio, maybe satellite phone. That's the closest he should come to anybody on M80. They need that M4 next round.
Absolutely. No, he's pretty much straight out of that bomb site. Not even on B. He wants to get into perhaps T-spawn. Walker and Dane, though, they can hunt a little bit. That Deagle perhaps could net them another rifle, but M80 are giving them absolutely nothing. Manx hanging around a little bit longer, see if anyone decides to come onto the bomb site. Doesn't happen. 14-7. M80 extends their lead even further and doubles up on the scoreline of Reason. They only need 2 more rounds, and this one is done and dusted. A far better performance than M80 had when they played wildcard here and lost 4-16.
Yeah, this is a much different result from M80. Even if this goes to overtime, or even if they lose 16-14, they still have
it's been
over
much
tripled their rounds.
Yeah.
Significantly better. In comes the push. Swisher with the entry, trying to double it up. Manx actually does fall. Malbs goes down as well. Grape is still alive somehow, but Swisher on the USP grabs the third. He finishes Dane while Grape is still sitting behind the obelisk.
That's crazy.
The bomb can go down. Grape did so much to buy time and stay alive, and he might have actually done enough to enable his team to win with Swisher on one-shot territory health. Walker with the op, though, is not going to be the easiest player to have a retake with. He has that flash, though. Beaky coming in the long way around on the flank. Do they expect it?
Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, you have to wonder if they're just going to fall back and save for overtime. Walker's not really near the site. Beaky's throwing some util. Walker's waiting, watching, time ticking away. Even if they get to the bomb site at this point, they have to find all the kills and defuse the bomb, and there won't be time for it. So, yeah, save comes through. They have to play for OT. And oh no, Beaky gets caught out! That's not going to help. Walker at least keeps the op? Maybe? Probably? Yes? Okay. I thought for a moment WolfY might go to the A site and we might see a fight in the waning moments of that round. But 15-7 in favor of M80. Reason need 8 in a row just to force overtime. They will have enough money to buy up here, I think, relatively comfortably, so that's okay. But they need to win a round, and it hasn't looked good even with full buy-ups.
Yeah, it's not going to be a great time here for Reason. They do get the timeout in. They will try and discuss what they can do to salvage things here. But what can they do to salvage things? Map point, not series point. Don't listen to the HUD. This is map 1 of a possible 3. The pick of M80, Inferno map number 2. Reason's pick, but all reasons for picking it aside, it still doesn't bode well for Reason.
No. Decidedly not. But we'll see how it goes. Certainly there were no slouches on their T side. It's just once they got the CT side, the defense here on Anubis fell apart. WolfY gets the opener. They try for some aggression. Oh no! Walker legs WolfY. Can't connect on the frag. Does get the second, but the flashbang's perfect, and Swisher with the unsilenced A1S gets the frag onto Walker. Out. Gets control of the bomb site, and now Reason they have no choice but to go in, and WolfY hanging back, gets JDubs on the attempted rotation, forces Beaky to stop in his tracks, re-peeks it, finds WolfY. Reason absolutely need this round or we're done, so they're going to continue forcing their way towards this site.
They have one flash to work with. One flash on Grape. They have the kit on Beaky. The flash goes in. Another kit to be picked up, and it's over on Beaky's side. Grape chunked down lower and lower. Time running out. Grape goes down. It's up to Beaky in a 1v3. He had one great 3K on A. Can he double it up? The nade to finish. And it's going to be M80. A rather clinical and clean set D half. They lost pistol round, and that was it.
Wow. I mean, honestly, I think we saw that up against Unjustified in that first series. I think it was in